All right, so what I want to do in this video is to show you how to use, it's one of the most underutilized massage techniques in the massage repertoire, and that is using your fists, but using them properly. Because a lot of massage therapists, they have problems because they have it unsupported, or they clunk their knuckles against bones and it's uncomfortable, and they just don't know how to use them. Now, why do you want to use your fist? Okay, so, well, one, you can get better pressure, all right, so you can go into deeper work, that sort of thing. It will give, now if you're using deeper pressure, and I'll go into this as well in other videos, where you use more thumbs to get your deeper pressure and you're overworking your thumbs. So all of these things, so we can use better pressure, but we can also, it gives a different sensation. So different tactile sensations are really important as well. Also, it gives your hands, your thumbs, as I say, a rest. It feels fantastic done properly to your client. And I'm going to show you all the techniques on the back, even on the neck. I'll show you the fronts of the shoulders, the pecs, the hamstrings, all over the body, basically. So the more you get used to this, you're going to use this as one of your favorites, because your clients are going to love it and you're going to love it, because once again, all you're going to do is just like the other techniques I've shown you, lean on body weight, weight transference as you just rock, whether it's from side to side, whether it's from in a lunge position, as you just lock down and you just work that slowly. But the biggest problem for so many people is they clunk on bones, or it's just not controlled. So let's go through that now before I show you in the actual techniques, because I want you to really understand what we can do. So biggest fault, as I say, is having it unsupported and you're just trying to do this and it goes all over the place, right? So we want to stop that. We want to have a nice controlled, slow controlled technique. Because remember, when we want to start doing deeper techniques, we want to slow it down. I talked about this in my hand video, how to use different hand techniques, right? And I'll link that at the end of this video. But so you want to really think, you can never go too slow. And I talk about this in more depth, but just think, slow it down. Think super slow-mo and just go slower, 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 especially when you start to go. And I talked about this before. It's like, I used to think it would be boring until I had a great massage therapist, just worked her elbows, her forearms, this sort of thing, and slowed it down. It would just sit there and you'd feel the muscles just relax. And then she just worked, like, as I say, super slow, like going from the top of the shoulder blade, between the shoulder blades, through the rhomboids there, this distance, and it took like 20, 30 seconds, maybe a minute, as she just, and of course, those of you who know, that's also creating myofascial stretch going so slowly, so you're loosening up the myofascia as well. So that's with your forearms, which is another video as well. But, so same thing, you slow it down with your fist, and it will feel fantastic for you. It will feel fantastic for your client, and of course, it's going to feel, as I say, it's going to be a different tactile sensation, and it's going to save your hands as well. Right, so how do we do this? Right, well, you want to have a soft fist, and we're going to concentrate. Yes, if you can later on start to use through here in deeper areas, but all I want you to do here, so I go through the course, is work with this the flats here, okay? Now, not a hard grip at all, it's just work there, and you're going to use this as your surface. Now, what you can do, and I'll go through this in more depth, is you want to support them, the vast majority. Now, when I go down either side of the spine, I've got them like this, and I use my thumbs as a guide as I go down. Remember, always, we're going to use our body weight, keep your shoulders down, broad across the chest as you work like in any massage strokes, right? So you're broad across, lower back, tall through the spine, as you just, and work, as I say. So, as you'll see, but I'll just go through it, I will lock in, so I'm going to use, I might lock in my thumb here, using this fist as the massage, to do the massage. I might lock it in like this, or I'll hold it like this. So now, and you'll see this as well. So if I'm doing this, say down the hamstrings, this is now going, so it's one unit. Not only that, but we're covering more surface area as well. So we're getting the fist along the hamstrings, as you'll see, and this is going along the iliotibial band as we go, and it's one controlled unit. Slow, deep myofascial work. So we do that, we can lock in the thumb, and I want you to try this. I want you to get feedback on this. I want you to perfect this, because it's going to be one of your favorites, all right? So as I say, we can just have them like this, as you'll see. Anyway, but you want to really avoid, I do show at one stage where I'm going down the back with one like that, but the vast majority of the time, you will have it, well, I want you to have it supported, whether that's locking in, you can lock it in this thumb, you can lock in this thumb, it does not matter, all right? Try both. So we're using this fist, I can hold this and work down, and I say the hamstrings, this goes along the iliotibial band. And I'll show you, and when we're doing the iliotibial band, what are you doing when you're doing the iliotibial band? I'm guessing you're using this part. Now, once again, press along here. What sort of power you got here? Very little, have you? If you press against here, it's virtually, and that's what you're asking of your poor fingers as you go along that iliotibial band with this winging out like this. No, way better ways to do this, which I'll show you, is lock this hard on the ribs. Hard, lock it onto the ribs. And now you've got one unit supported. We've got our fist there, if we're going to use our fist. Now, even if you want to use these fingers along here, right, put this onto the ribs. So then, with your body weight, as opposed to having it out like this, and then you've got to use muscles to stop this flying out, right? Muscular energy, you don't want to be doing that, right? You want to economize as much as possible. So lock it onto the ribs. We got, and I'll show you all this again as well, and then we can do our work as we're going through lateral, same with the lateral aspects of the calves, that sort of thing as well. So I'm going to show you this. So lock them in, have them butted up against the other hand, you'll get the hang of this as you go through this, get used to it. Now, one last thing I want to talk to you about is when I go through between the shoulder blades here, you'll see I'll really sit my weight down. So I start at the top of these fibers of the upper trapezius and then come up and over. So many therapists will just, whether it's your fists or hands, and they'll start sort of way up right of levator scapulae area here. No, drop your weight down, and if this is your upper trapezius here, drop it down so you connect here. So if this is the top of the back, okay, and here we're coming down here, right? Instead of starting your stroke up here, come down here so you get this stretch through here, through your upper. So we're getting these fibers are really getting torsioned as you go through here. So you're dropping your weight down, and then you come up and over. So you start and then you come up and over. Not so far as your clavicle, but around that, just above the clavicle here. And then you're going to start as you come up, all right? And you'll see me do this, and then slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Now, because I'm using my son, he's got a smaller body. So what I do here is, instead of having my fist like this, because the spine and the shoulder blade are around about here, I'm going to be clunking on his spine and his shoulder blade. So what I do is I'll just almost like this. So instead of this, so a fist, we start to do this, which gives me much better space. Still using through here, but we're going to, so if you're having that problem, you've got big hands, a smaller person, and so you can just do that. So you're keeping off the spine, keeping off the bony prominences of the shoulder blade, because you don't want to clunk into the bones, all right? And you'll see me also when we go across the shoulder blades, when we're going medial to lateral, coming out to the axilla, as we go through that medial aspect, we just lift up, and then we lower our weight onto the infraspinatus, all of those muscles. Okay, so as I say, when you get it, drop your weight down with your legs, come through, and then we're going to come up over here, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. Right, let's go for it. Okay, so I'll go through this and you can have a look, and I'll go through all the details for you. All right, so now we're doing double fist. You can see I've got my thumbs to guide the spine there. So I know my knuckles are not going to crunch over, go over the spine here. So they're guiding down the gutters, if you will, between the spine and the erector spinae. You see that? And now look at the way my body is to the side of Liam's head so that I can get down there. Now, if you're short, you're a particularly large person, you go as far as you can, and then you still come back. So that's one treatment, or one technique, I beg your pardon, using this. So have a look here. See how I've got my thumbs? And they are also together right? My fist, so I've also got really steady, they're really steady. Look how my forearms are locked down. They don't need to be locked straight, but they're not moving at all. And I'm nice and tall, so I'm just leaning my body weight down. Lovely and slow controlled technique. And they're coming out across the top of the iliums, or the ilii. So you see, there's a double fist. Now look at this. Here we come. Look how I drop my body weight down. Slow between the shoulder blade and the spine, so I'm not hitting bone. And then I'm just keeping my elbow like that. And now I go up. See, look at my weight. Way up high. So now, and now you can see a better look at that as I'm now putting my weight down. So there's no movement in the elbow. It is just, I'm just asking Liam, is that okay for you? So I've got one hand on the opposite side just for good control of my body. Because now we're having to be steady like that. Now, you could do your fist and have your thumb there to give it even steadier as you're working. Now see how low I am? And then I just hold onto the levator scapulae muscles, rhomboids, top of the trapezius. And then slow as we come up between, making sure that I'm not hitting the spine or the corner of the shoulder blade. So staying off the bones, and now I get up nice and high as I want to put more pressure down. But we initiate with our legs nice and low as we get into the top of the trapezius and then come up and over. As opposed to just staying right at the top there. Get down so you're really connecting those top of those upper trapezius fibers. Okay, now look at this. So you see I'm just doing a different technique here. Got my thumb over the top here, but I've got it locked in. So beautiful control. Then just doing some fanning movements just to break it up. So make sure when you go over that shoulder blade, you just loosen off. So that medial aspect of the shoulder blade there, medial edge. So you're not clunking across it and grinding, not grinding, but not banging into it. Now here's just a technique. Once again, one fist down the shoulder, down through the shoulder there, down through the triceps. I'm going to go back up in this technique. Don't worry about going, you always talk about going to the heart. A few strokes this way, not going to make any difference whatsoever. Think about it. When you do kneading, what are you doing when you're kneading? You're going one way and the other, aren't you? If you think about that, right? Do you do the vast majority going towards the heart? Yeah, you want to try and do that. Now, you can see here. Now look at my wrist. I'm slightly bent there. That's not such good technique. I'm showing you that where you want to have a better alignment to keep them lined up. So you got more straight there, but even better, you get it straighter there. So you're just taking that bend out slightly. But again, it's not too bad because you've got good flexion through here. But you want to try and keep out the angles as much as possible. Now, I'm coming along the outside of the hamstrings, almost iliotibial band area. And once again, I'm locking in here and using this fist. Left fist with the right hand is the support. Okay, now look at this. So now I'm just giving a little bit of oscillation technique, but I've got my elbow into my ribs. So it's locked in here. And that's where you generate the power from. So it's not flailing out, it's coming in here. Now here's another one. You can see my wrists are a little bit bent through there. Be much better to have, I can get away with it pretty much with Liam. But now for this one I've got to because I'm out to the side here. Unless I brought my body around. But again, one or two of these is not going to be a problem as far as that goes. But ideally, yeah, you want to have your wrist, keep them all as long as possible. That's all your strokes, keeping them in good alignment. Right, elbow into the ribs here as we do the outside, the lateral aspect of the calf. So you can see, just doing this, it feels different, it feels fantastic, and it's great for you. You're taking the reliance off what would you normally be doing? But maybe doing some thumb work, double thumbs, hands, this sort of thing. So we've done the work with the hands, and if you haven't seen the video where I talk about all different techniques and show you with the hands, I'll have that linked at the end of this video. Do that first and then come in. Now, double fist here, just a different technique as we go down, we give it like a bit of a toothpaste squeeze, if you will. Now, so what I was saying is, after you do your hand techniques, all that I showed you, and you want to get deeper, you do these fist techniques. And you see I've got them as one unit. You see once again, I'm locking in that thumb as we go through. All right, here's a nice close-up look here once again. So you can see here what I've done here. I don't lock in the thumb, but I've got it guided here. So you've got that other hand there, and then I put the thumb over the top. So it's really controlled. So you've never just seen me wobbling up through there. So you see that? They're one unit again. And I've got my hand on the iliotibial band going up the side there, but the fist is where the real pressure is. But at the same time, you get a nice complete feeling. So now I'm doing the opposite here. Now iliotibial band. What are you doing with the iliotibial? You're winging out, trying to get the iliotibial band like this, or winging out with your fist like this. No, lock it in, have it controlled like that. Lock it into the ribs is what I'm talking about. You have it controlled, or even you got that. Keep them as one unit. Now we're going up the tibialis anterior, the front of the shin here. Same thing. I can't see it's off camera, but I would have my elbow locked in here. So the pressure is just leaning. It's all one unit coming in the body, as opposed to having to try and use muscular effort to get into there. It's a way easier technique. Now I'm just doing some work here with the knee bent, so we can get into, and I'm doing a little bit of active release as we bend and flex the knee here. So this one has to be one-handed technique, but you can see I'm going slowly. It gives you a better understanding there. Swapping hands. So now we've got it contracted there. So this is great for especially athletes. As we get down, so with the muscle loosened off there, hamstrings loosened off, you can really just lean down. And now you can see I'm just extending the knee as we go down. Now you can contract, or not contract, but you can shorten the muscle and go along, lengthen the muscle. So you can see that. And you can see it's nicely controlled as we go through. All right, now, once again, what are you doing? You're probably doing, now you can go through the heel of your hands, really nice through here, but through the fist. Now remember, when you come through the shoulder, come up, like take your pressure off, so you don't clunk across the top of the shoulder there and twang the bicep tendons. But this again is a really nice way to do the biceps. It takes all the work out of your hands, trying to do this sort of work, having your hand like this. Can you do that? Yeah, of course you can. But then you do this, showing the other side here. So it's just taking all the work out for you. And again, it feels great. You can put your bigger clients, your muscular clients, your gym people. You give beautiful work through the biceps here, front of the shoulder, your pecs, anterior deltoid, all these muscles. Getting lots of love. So I've got it once again in an elongated position here. So you started off in a short, well, here we are now. Starting off with a shortened position, and then we lengthen as we lengthen out the muscles. You think of those people that come in with they could have biceps tendonitis, trigger points, and you're just working through. And again, just deep tissue massage, even relaxation massage. You can see, here's my son here, probably 14 years old there, loving this. Now here's another technique on the neck. Again, it feels different. It's great. We're using the flat, soft fist. Just let it mold. You can see my hand. It's just a nice soft fist there. Doing that as well. So work that in as well. Break the neck massage up. As you can see, it's just a nice soft fist. We're not into a fist. And then you can just see I'm just taking the neck across as well. So what I want you to do is practice with these. Get your feedback from your whoever you're practicing with. And you can see that. It's a really lovely technique again. And as I say, it feels different. It's great for you, for your hands. Feels great for the client. So start practicing that. Get really good at it. Like any skill, the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. And it's going to be second nature to you. And your clients are going to love it. And so are you.